forth, and they shut down.
Yeah.
But then when they are relating with the woman, she's claiming he is emotionless.
You know?
You get? So the imprint is
Which
there.
is it? What do you want? Do you want a man who doesn't cry, or a man who is in touch with his feminine side?
Yeah.
And you know, this is crazy because now here we are living in a world which is increasingly fatherless.
Yeah.
And then also fathers really do not have a proper, picture to say this is what daddy ought to be.
Yeah.
I mean, Father Christmas, all we get from his generosity one time a year.
Yeah.
Recently, not recently, one time I asked my mom, what is it about, what is in me that was in my dad?
Right.
That you like. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because it was clear.
Yeah.
Me and my dad were fighting.
Yeah.
All the time, fighting. And she told me, you need to understand something.
Yeah.
The thing in you that makes you fight your dad is a thing in him that he did not like about himself. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
That for example, I like to sleep.
Yeah.
I enjoy my sleep.
Yeah.
And he hates sleep because he used to like sleep. So 1, 2, 3, man, you're lazy, you're sleeping too much. So Sasa, tell me the things about me that you see are from my dad and you like.
Yeah.
She told me vision. Like your dad, like your sense of vision, you have vision, you see things.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. I think one of your strong points, of course, you have blind spots, and I'm going to tell you your blind spot. But your strongest point, to be honest with you, is seeing things, and not just in the distance, but also in a very big way. You see mighty things, you see big things. Your blind spot, where you need help, is nitty-gritty details. Yeah, and you even know that about yourself.
Yes.
You're good with vision. Very, very good with. You're high D. I mean, but now details and where this one goes, how the vision is going to pan out, that's where you need help. And
need people.
That's okay. It's okay.
And so this is now where I'm coming. I'm bringing this back. Thank you very much. I'm bringing this back to bring in the spouse.
Yeah.
And how this now creates a full picture for a family. That as a man within your family, first of all, the patterns that you might propagate might be the patterns which your father built with you, but also the ones you saw how he treated your mother. So if your father treated your mother badly, there are very high chances that you will treat your partner badly.
And also, by the way, because there are three things. Can be treating her badly, or can be treating her nicely, or can be neutral. For me, it was the neutral part. You wouldn't see them fighting.
Neither would you see them emotional.
Neither would you see them being emotional. It was basically mute.
So you just think that a woman is just
functional.
There.
Yes.
Everything about her is for imagining.
You wouldn't see endearment. You get?
No tickling. What?
Are you kidding me? Has the world come to an end? It was neutral. You get my point? And now that imprint, guess what? It is kind of like me.
You're still kind of guy. Like honestly, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. So recently we had that gig, and I was super psyched. I once in my life have a chance to bless this man, give him money.
Yeah.
And I gave him money.
Yeah.
And you remain neutral. And you're just there. Yes, you said thanks.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want people to dance around.
Yeah.
But you see now, for example, with my dad and my mom, the pattern he showed me with my mom is, man, you do not disrespect
my wife. Yeah.
One time he told me, grow up, marry your own wife, and
disrespect her. Yeah.
Don't stress my wife.
Yeah. Wow.
And you know what?
You picked it.
I picked it. I can't be disrespecting and stressing my wife. I do not want that. And I tell my kids, grow up, marry your own wife, and disrespect that one. But your mother, you do not.
You don't even attempt.
You do not attempt.
Yeah.
So we're talking about patterns here. And even as we come back from the break, I want us to just set about 5 things that say, as a generation of men going forward, let's try and do these things. Let's try and care more. I want us to talk about that care in this next segment. What patterns should we be building?
All right.
Yes.
Our vision is that through our work, there will be a raising of a movement of godly, solid, covenant men who know themselves, understand their purpose, and are clear about their worth and responsibility to lead the nation's generations, one man to one son, passing on the authentic blueprint of a God kind of man.
We're back. Lawrence, this week you asked me a question.
Yeah.
Which school do people go to learn how to care?
Exactly, yeah. Was it about care? Was it about care? It was about care. Right.
Because we are constantly being accused as men of not caring.
Yeah.
Of not showing care. Because you see, there's a difference between not caring.
They accuse us of not caring, but we care. It's just that we don't express.
Yes, so
yeah.
I want you to tell us today. You called it the C's. I want us to discuss those C's.
Yeah.
About how do we actively show care.
Yeah.
And this is the first pattern that I want to break.
Yeah.
The pattern of carelessness or of seemingly not
I don't care.
Attention.
No, I don't pay attention. Yeah.
No, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I've always said that the hardest equation to balance for a man is the equation between paying bills and paying attention.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing for a man to do.
Yeah.
So teach us. How do we come to this place based on the research and the class that you've been taking in care?
Yeah.
How do we actively show care?
So I think, like we've just said in the initial introduction there, just when we came back, there are 2 components. There is the caring itself, and then there is the showing the care. Someone gave me feedback yesterday, I think, and they told me that I am logical, where I need to be emotional. The care has to go to those 2 extremes, those two ends, right? That yes, there is the responsibility. I'm responsible for my wife's emotions. Okay, how I make her feel, the environment that I create in the home, I'm responsible for that. And probably it might be one of the ways I'm able to do that is probably pay rent on time or build a house and have everything that is physically needed to be available and so on and so forth. But does that make her feel cared for? Not necessarily. You get my point? So I have to, as a man, to be intentional about the emotional part. And I think one of the ways of doing that is to express, to basically talk about and say.
Like if you care, you need to communicate.
You need to communicate. That's the first thing. You need to communicate your care. Now, like I said earlier on, the imprint in me is neutral. There was no communication. Oh, thank you so much. That's a wonderful thing you did. I'm so proud of you. I never had stuff like that, growing up. And so the imprint is like, I'm neutral, so to speak. Even though in my heart of hearts, I do care. I don't necessarily express it. But let me tell you a change in me that, and I need to work on it even more. When I go to get born again and get to know God, basically to be in the presence of God. I'm not talking about being in church. I'm talking about you and God. I know you normally do many walks in the woods and so on, and you're communicating and conversing with God. And you get to this level where you are so intimate with God. It builds in you such a capacity that you cannot shut up expressing care. You cannot shut up expressing love and so on. Even though your natural imprint is fighting it, you cannot shut up.
The Bible says you are compelled.
You are compelled to show the care. But my point is that it is going to be intentional. I'm not supposed to be blaming the imprint of the paternity patterns, so much. I am supposed to be intentionally knowing that I've got to balance the aspect of the logical and the emotional as well. Because if you left me alone and you ask me any day, are you caring? Of course I am caring.
Yep.
But ask my wife if I'm caring.
Nope.
You get my point?
Yes.
So I have to balance that too. I have to learn how to communicate that. And it goes back, of course, this series we're doing, it's about identity. It goes back to my identity. I've got to work on my identity, know that the imprint that I had. And I think that
I'm a caring man.
I'm a caring man. And where the rubber meets the road is Ethan, my son. Right? Because you see, your daughters were putting their hands at the back as they are walking. Ethan is doing probably the same imprint that might be in me of neutral emotions, because that's what I'm exuding at the moment. So I need to actively.
But you know what? First of all, I want to congratulate you that you're playing Monopoly with your son.
Yeah.
I think that's a start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now there is this person who is working overtime. To pay bills.
Yeah. The logical part, the physical part that has got to be there.
Or maybe he's not even working overtime. He's not working at all.
Yeah.
And that has got him in some corner, in some form of funk, that because he has no money, he has no love. That when his wife asks him for something that he can't give, it pisses him off.
It pisses him off. It punctures his psyche.
Talk to that man.
Oh, I think I had someone say last week or so that you are it. As in, you look at the mirror, you are the solution. I mean, you've got to draw a line in the sand at the end of the day, and you've got to own your problem. You've got to own your issues, right? You've got to own, for lack of a better word, people normally say you've got to own your shit. You've got to own your mess. As a man, draw a line in the sand and say, I'm gonna fix this. If it comes to a level where you need to seek help, maybe from a counselor or Solid Jamaaz or whatever it is, you've got to do it. Because let me tell you, at the end of the day, the imprint you are having right there in that situation, in that funk, it is being propagated. It's being shown to your son. It's being shown to your daughter. It's actually in the environment. It's creating that spiritual, mental, psychological, emotional environment under which they are operating, and it is working. So there's no shortcut in here. Someone has got to put their foot down, got to draw a line in the sand, and look at themselves in the mirror. Michael Jackson. I am starting with the man in the mirror, and I'm asking him to change his ways. You cannot tell the world to change their ways if the man in the mirror is messed up.
Wow. So the man in the mirror has to look in deeper within him and say, you know what, it's within me.
Yeah.
Even as we continue in this pattern breaking conversation, I'm reminded of my brother, my cousin actually.
Yeah.
Recently we're having a conversation. And but he said something about his brothers who are right now doing very random things.
Yeah.
And the random things they are doing exactly the things that they hold against their father. and he kept saying, he told me this is what he tells them: don't be your father.
Right.
And I think
he told them,
yes, every time
with whatever they were doing,
yes, said, I don't want you to be your father.
Yeah.
Including the girls. You know, just people being random, people being reckless, people not really caring. And this is his response to them. Because you see, the interesting thing is they all do not like what their dad did.
Yeah.
But what they cannot see is that they are on the same patterns of paternity.
Yeah.
So here he is, and this is his statement.
Yeah.
Don't be your father. Whatever you hold against your father, don't be it.
Yeah.
Whatever you hold against your father, don't let your children hold it against you. But you know how you do that? By breaking the patterns of choosing to be different.
Yeah.
And how do you choose to be different? You start by looking back at your father.
Yeah.
And removing all those, what did you call them? Inner vows.
Yeah.
Say, I will never do this.
Yeah.
I will never do this. My friend, it's interesting. Pastor Humphrey, whom we'll be hosting next year, said, he told a story and said 90+% of the things we hold against our fathers and say, I will never be this kind of guy.
Yeah.